Okay, hello everyone. Hello everyone to all MMUians. I'm Dee.
I'm Ree.
And welcome to welcome
Welcome to the Career
Careers
Matter
Matters
podcast,
podcast.
where
Well,
all
all
your
your careers
careers
matters.
matter.
I'm sorry for that. I'm a
Lama
bit
sangat tak buat
nervous.
podcast
Itulah. I think last week was I'm alone, and then this week I'm with
Ree
Ree.
again. So I'm in the
Yay!
studio back with all of you guys.
So how was in library?
Library was lively.
It was
Very.
like very lively. Ever since he and she cafe was there, everyone went there. I
Yeah.
think every day there's people coming to the library, there's people coming to the LP. So keep coming because he and she coffee is getting
Shout out
more
idea.
money.
The water there, the drinks
The
there
drinks there
is
is
very
so good.
so good. Okay.
Please
So
check it out.
Dee, so currently we are in the examination session, isn't it?
Yes, we're in the exam week, so good luck to all of the students that are facing their exams right now. Yeah, it's only another few more days, and then you guys can have your sem breaks.
So in parallel, we are also in the internship hunting season.
Yes.
Masa ni lah kita function ni.
Betul.
Yeah.
Kita berkuasa dekat
Masa
sini.
sini lah you guys should listen to us. So
Yes, to
to the
get more
people who are
connection.
still searching for the internship, walaupun it will start very soon. Okay, we have very great guest and very interesting topic today lah.
Yes. So the company that come today, they have an internship opening right now. So you guys have to stay until the end to get all the information that you need in order for you to get into the internship that you want.
Okay, but before that, Chok. So today, hari ni we have a very interesting because we have a free gift, lucky draw session.
Yes, you
So-
guys will have to watch until the end and also comment as many as you can.
Comment banyak-banyak because we will pick the most interesting, the most
Maybe the most funny comment.
funny comment and
to
everything.
get the lucky draw.
And our free gift hari ni is sponsored by Donaldson Malaysia. So shout out to Donaldson Malaysia.
Yay!
Okay, alright. So let's start Cinta with the intro. So apa
Yes,
kata we introduce the panel and the speakers that we
Yes.
have today?
The panel for here today is very interesting and it's going to attract you guys very much. So our first guest here today is Miss Fatin Yusof, which is the PR and public relation for Graduan, guys. So hello Miss Fatin.
Thank you so
Hi.
much. Hello, hi.
So welcome to
Alright.
Career Matters podcast, Miss Fatin. Can you basically introduce yourself and also introduce Graduan?
Sure. All right. Hello, hi everyone. Very excited to be here today. So my name is Fatin Yusof. I am the assistant manager PR and events in Grad 1. So a little bit introduction about Grad 1. So what we do, Grad 1 been in industry for 29 years. And we connect students and also companies. So we do have our own platform, graduan.com, where you guys can look for internship, job placement, any self-tips article, anything that would help you guys to secure the job, you guys can just go to graduan.com. And on top of that, of course, we also do a lot of employer branding exercise for companies and also events around, that all the year. Yeah, that's a little bit introduction about Grad 1 and myself. Excited to be here today.
Yay, thank you. So
Alright.
guys, take note the Graduan event, okay, career fairs,
Yeah.
and also internship opportunities. Okay, so who's next, Ree?
Okay, so we are not alone with Miss Fatin only because today in the studio you also have a remarkable speaker with us who has the experience of 20 years in outsourcing service and business process outsourcing.
Yep.
Yeah. So together with me, we also have Mr. Bichi from Donaldson, Malaysia. So never had. Sorry. Okay, so hi, Mr. Bichi. Hi, welcome
Hi,
to Career
hi.
Matter Podcast.
Well, thank you for inviting us. Basically, a bit of self-introduction about myself. I'm the so-called regional director for shared services for Donaldson Malaysia. So a bit of background about Donaldson. We are a filtration technology company. So when I say technology, I'm not talking about IT technology. Filtration is a technology itself. Our HQ is actually based in Minnesota, Bloomington. The company itself is about 110 years, so it's a 100-year-old company. We are listed in New York Stock Exchange. Our revenue right now is about $3.3 billion US dollar a year. So we are hoping to grow the business to a $4 billion in the next 2 years. right? So Donaldson Filtration, basically what we do is we manufacture, we sell, we support and service filters. A lot of people don't know filters are used in everyday products,
Yes.
right? A lot of people associate filters like Koei filters, right? But we are beyond that. So, example, we are in pharmaceutical, in military, in defense, aviation, mining, construction, plantation, in every industries. Things that you eat and drink actually uses Donaldson.
So we basically have two very widely different industry with here to share about our topic today. So our topic is enhancing, starting a career and enhancing marketability.
Yes.
So as Miss Fatin yourself is a PR in Graduan. What I understand about Graduan is basically you guys, gather all the companies together to search for talents, to search for graduates to work in this company and provide job opportunities. So can you basically define a little bit about job marketability?
All right. Okay, thank you so much for the first question. So basically for me, myself, job marketability, it depends on how do you want to define it. So, but I always stress this, that job marketability is about how you, it's like a measure of how you want to bring yourself out there to look for the job. And this job marketability, it encompasses a lot of aspects, including your communication skills, what value that you can bring to the company, and on top of that, of course, whatever qualification that you've got from your study years. So it's a process of how you want to market yourself, you brand yourself to get the job. Yeah, that's from my perspective. Yeah, maybe you have a different POV. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just now Miss Fatin share about on his point of view,
Yeah.
marketability is how to present yourself,
Yes,
how
right.
you bring your values to the employers. So how about me, Mr. B? What is your opinion or what is your point of view on
Right.
the definition of marketability?
Well, from my point of view, it's basically the marketability actually divides into two sessions. The first session from an employer's perspective, right? From employer, they are also marketing in terms of attracting the right talent to their company. So they will do a lot of branding about themselves, creating a lot of attractive packages and so on.
Is it about what kind of job that they
Correct.
are
Yeah.
promoting?
Correct. They will advertise in terms of their company benefits, the role that they have, career development. That's from a company's perspective in terms of making a job market,
Yeah.
right? From a talent perspective. Sorry, I use the word talent because we in
Can-
Donaldson we don't call them staff, we don't call them workers, we call them talent, right? So in talent perspective, it means people who look for a job. They need to be like what you were saying, that you need to be marketable. Talk about the skill set, their attitudes and characteristics, so that they can actually match. So basically, it's a like a kawin, right? Employer are looking for a suitable candidate. Candidate is looking for a suitable company,
like
so
feeding
they
each
feeding
other.
each other, right?
Actually, yeah.
So it's a partnership. It's like a joint venture. So both of them will actually get something out of that partnership.
So what kind of strategies do employers do to make sure they attract the right talent?
Right. So basically, a lot of employers typically they will do a lot of branding. Depends on, especially to the companies that actually do a lot of consumer. Once they put branding in, it's very easy and recognized. You talk about a company like Nestle, right? Everybody will hear about Nestle,
Yes.
right? However, in some industry like in Donaldson, because in our industries we are not a consumer-based market, we are a B2B market. So things that we sell and we produce and we manufacture, we sell to other business, right? So we need to put in a lot of effort in terms of branding, what we do, what we sell. That's why we are here today. And so the branding as well.
To sell out Donaldson.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
people, Donaldson bukan tak famous je.
Donaldson is a very big company.
It famous, tapi sebab its nature of business tu business to business.
Yeah, so it's popular between businesses,
To business,
not
yes.
necessarily to like everybody to students. So you have to basically find out all these companies.
Correct.
Actually, all companies are very good. It's just whether you fit in or not. So the question of whether we fit in or not, how do employers make sure that, okay, after they choose the talent, how do they make sure that these talents will fit in?
All right. So I believe that there's no right answer.
Yeah.
Each organization will have their own career path. I always believe that once you join a company, it's a journey for you. It's a journey for you to grow. For us in Donaldson, we always treat our talent the first year, especially the internship, fresh graduate. You treat yourself as a sponge. You are there to absorb the knowledge. Right? In Donaldson, we have a program called a Career Development Program. Every 18 to 24 months, we will actually set a path for you and say, okay, after the 24 months, what's your vision? What you plan to do? Right? Because Donaldson is huge enough, we have roughly about in 44 locations across the world. Malaysia is just one of the 44 locations. Right? And example, a person who joins an accounting and finance, right? They are interested in doing accounts payable. They can actually rotate to do accounts receivable, right? Or move to accounts general accounting, financial planning analysis. We also have people that actually join with an IT background, but they work in an accounting department, right? Like example, we have a lot of fresh grad from other universities. Their background is actually they study linguistic, but they're working with finance. So we have those mobility program as well. Some of them, they actually join Donaldson Malaysia and they're matured. They actually can move to other areas like in Brazil, in US. So in US, we have a lot of diversification. We have Malaysian that actually work in our US campus. Right?
So basically, Donaldson is very supportive in career development
Correct.
in every employers.
Correct. So, and we work together with our talent to chart out your path, your career path.
I think that's what most students are looking for. They want a company that supports their career development. So as Ms. Fatin, you're from Graduate, you basically help students to search for the companies that they want. So what kind of strategies that students need what are the strategies they need so that they can market themselves to the companies?
All right. Okay. So for that, I mean, like for that question, I think when I go out, when I meet the students, when I go for any university outreach, I always stress to this. I mean, like highlight to the student that whatever it is, you are the future talent. So everything starts with you, whether you want it or you don't want it. You need to have that can-do attitude, and for you to market yourself, it starts with you yourself. So you need to know what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. I mean, like if let's say in an assignment you do SWOT analysis, try to do that SWOT analysis in you. And I always highlight to the students as well, like when you want to market yourself, you need to know yourself better. You cannot like get some like third party or people to do your
To help
resume,
you.
for example. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who need to put soul in your resume. Because how do I say, like employers, they don't buy into, I mean, like of course, a very nice resume, for example, is very eye-catching and very appealing. But then again, whatever it is, they buys into personality, how you bring yourself, how do you market yourself. So for you to market yourself, it takes some time. And to all talent, I advise you guys that sometimes it's not that just going for one interview, you will secure a job. It might need to take you about 10 interviews for you to at least expert, because each interview you will learn something out of it, and from that you learn how to market yourself. So let's say for the first interview, you know what you are looking at, and then second interview, so you take bit by bit until you, because I always believe that whatever is meant to you will be meant for you. So it's a matter of time and also your effort. I mean, like you need to put some effort to market yourself, and branding is very important. And like I said, whatever it is, people buy into your personality. How do you speak? How do you articulate things? So yeah.
Madam Fatih already shared about the interview session, about how they should put their soul into their resume and etc. So I think the interview is very important and interesting side. So I believe that you have a very diverse experience within the interview kan. So what are the things that this talent usually like, and do you have any advice for them to back it up so their marketability will be increased?
Wait, I'm trying to
To
guess
process
the question. Yeah,
Basically, like,
Uh-huh.
okay, some students they are lack. What are the things that they are lack in
Okay.
students when they want to market themselves? So, what is your advice for the things that they are lack of?
I think confidence. Not everyone. I mean, like for myself,
You're not
like, for
born with
example
confidence into
yeah,
it.
like macam myself, because my background is I'm a communication student, and that talking, that interpersonal skills is
Already
there
in
in
you.
me.
Your niche lah.
Yeah, that's my niche. So it depends. Like certain talent, if they are from, I mean, like this is very subjective for me to say. But then
Yeah.
again, for example, you're an IT student, you are not too comfortable talking to people. So
Yeah.
those are the things that makes you, I mean, like your confidence level decrease. So
Yeah.
I think whatever it is, confidence is the key component for you to market yourself, or the key component for you to go out there and sell yourself, because you are the only one who know yourself. Yeah,
I mean, confidence is very important, including
Yes.
when doing your projects.
Exactly.
If you're an IT student, point, you need to be confident with
Yes.
what you have,
Yeah,
so that
you
the
need to
employer.
convince.
Yes, you have to
Yeah.
convince the employer. I have these skills.
Exactly.
So you have to employ me.
So first word of the day hari ni confidence.
Yes, you can do this.
You can do this. Okay.
Right.
So we already talked about the thing that they should emphasize, the thing that taken into consideration. So I believe that as we are living in the 21st century
Yes,
with IR
it's all
4.0,
digital.
digitalized industries, digital world. So I believe that digital skills is something that
It's in
these
demand
talents
nowadays.
and these students need to be
Enhance,
aware.
yeah, be aware of the, the market. For example, like right now, it's more on digital marketing, data analyst, cybersecurity. So, what type of digital skills that you think that would be really important to the students so that they can be employed?
But,
So, for Ms. Fatin, what do you think?
maybe we can ask both
yeah,
Maybe for employers.
Okay.
yeah, point of view.
point of view
Right.
first.
So,
Miss
I think to add on what Fatin was mentioning about is, first of all, the students, they need to be aware of, you can ask yourself, it's like where you want to be in next 3 years,
Exactly.
right? So basically, you want to leverage on in terms of where your vision, where you want to be,
Yeah.
and then align to the company that actually provides that platform to achieve your vision and goal, right? It's okay to make mistakes once in a while,
Yeah.
right? You plan, you weigh in the options, right? If the plan doesn't go accordingly, you redo, reassess again, and then you replan again, and then execute, right? So being flexible, and I also agree with Ms. Fatin, was the behavior is one of the key thing, right? Everybody study the same program. So like my dad used to come and tell me, I always ask my dad, it's like, why do you study calculus? I will never use calculus in my day-to-day work. Right? Trigonometry.
Students still think that way.
They still think, I will never use, right? But my dad will always tell me that when you study trigonometry or calculus, it's actually not the calculus that you study. It helps you to think problem-solving skills. So it helps you to think. So a lot of people think that I just do the mathematics calculation, but it's helping you to grow in another perspective.
I think it also teaches us to be flexible.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thinking out of the box.
Yeah.
Right? Like what Fatin was saying, that the employer will work 50%. The other 50% will come from you,
Yeah.
means the student themselves. So then you have the partnership to work together. So coming back to your question is like, okay, what tools that they need to use? Now, different industries, there are certain requirements. So example, if you're in marketing, so you need to be familiar products, example, Google AdWords.
Yeah.
Those are the technology that you use in the part of marketing tool, right? But that tool may not be applicable for someone that does accounting.
Yeah.
Right. But one thing I notice is everybody use Microsoft product, Office,
Yes, that is very true.
Workspace.
right? So Office, PowerPoint, Excel, everybody
Yeah.
uses. So
Yeah.
those are the fundamentals that if you're familiar with it, right, it will help you that age, right? Maybe not from point of interview, but eventually at one point you will use those kind of product, right? Whether it's marketing, you have a set of data, you need to do a VLOOKUP. At least you know what's the formula to do a VLOOKUP, right? For maybe a salesperson, they want to do a pie chart, a presentation. That's how you do. So those fundamentals like Microsoft products are the easy one that you need to master to begin with. It doesn't help you all the way, but it gives you the edge to start with.
Do you think like employers are searching for students that are flexible? For example, like you said just now, some of the students studies literature, but end up in the company doing accounting. So do you think that that is what employers are searching for? Flexibility.
Flexibility.
In that person?
So for us, we are looking for people who are clear in two things, the mind and the heart,
Yes.
right? If you have the you have the passion to learn, you will grow,
Exactly.
right? So we always have we have seen cases that we have people who is very knowledgeable, but they don't have the passion, right? So they will have a
Sayang.
lot, they will have a lot of obstacles along the way.
I
Right.
think a lot of students nowadays are nerds, make sure they get like the full marks, but lack in flexibility. Is that
Flexibility.
true?
Correct. So always, that's what I was saying earlier on, you treat yourself as a sponge.
Yeah.
No, but as doing an internship, a fresh grad program, the employer would know that you don't have any experience.
During the interview, do you straight away know like, okay, this student is not a sponge? Do you know?
If you've done enough of interview,
You would know.
you will know.
Yes.
You will know, right? There's a lot of funny cases that the candidates who come in, they will always, to some reason, they do a lot of prep work at the beginning.
Yeah.
They always give a lot of textbook answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
They always give a textbook answer. So as an interviewer, there are ways to assess how flexible you are. Right.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Man. So I think we can ask the same question to Madam Fatin also about
Yeah.
the digital skills.
Right.
So what is your take on this?
Like my take for this, I just want to add on what Mr. B mentioned earlier. So, like myself also, I've been going. Interviewed quite numbers of talent. So sometimes it's like a scripted, especially for the very excellent students. Sometimes
Template.
they
Yes.
are very book smart.
Yeah.
But they are not street smart.
Correct.
So that is the how do I say? They don't know how to market themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that
what
is one of-
advice would you give to them?
It's you going out of your comfort zone. You need to
Whether you
find
want it or
ways
not.
on how you want to do it. And about the digital skills, like Mr. B mentioned, I think that is very subjective. It depends on what industry you are in. But of course, do not limit yourself to learn something new, because you wouldn't know where you would ended up with. Like for myself, I did not foresee myself going out there, meeting talents, trying to connect them with the companies, because back then when I am a student, I always have this in mind that I would ended up in a media conglomerate.
Right.
But this is where I am now. So for the digital skills, I think it's very important for you to always keep up to date. And then please note that we have ChatGPT is taking over everything.
Yep.
So that
AI is taking over
AI
everything.
is taking over everything. Try to be on par with AI. Of course, you cannot beat the machinery or the automation things,
Yeah.
but at least if you have X factor or skills that you can bring to the value to the company, of course you are the germ that they wouldn't want to miss. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talk about marketability, basically market yourself. Do you think like the personal presence in social media is important? to put yourself in social media, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, is that important to the employers?
Currently, nowadays.
Like for my, I mean like I'll go first. So I think there's a pros and cons because sometimes if you are looking at a LinkedIn platform, of course, if you are talking about LinkedIn, of course, social presence is very important because that is where they capture your visibility. Whether you are very active or they want to see how do you communicate, how do you connect with people and all. But say if it's on Instagram or Twitter, if you think that is your personal space, then leave it as it is. You do not go very big on that, and always be mindful for say like if you want to tweet something with regards to things that is very sensitive, because sometimes recruiter does do like a background check to the social media and all. So that's quite, there's a certain chunk of good and also the bad things. So
You guys do personally?
We do. We
on
do.
Instagram and Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's
So like just to add on what Fatin was saying, the social media thing is also a good thing, but sometimes it's also bad because it may backfire.
yes.
Right? And sometimes you read in certain articles, you see
Yeah.
people commenting about bad things about previous organization. So it doesn't help in your career.
Yeah.
So again, like I totally agree, you need to balance it out. It's your personal stuff, leave it at personal. But nowadays it's all digital.
Yeah.
We seldom see newspaper ads for looking for job anymore. It's all online. Right? So yes, we have to use those online platform, digital platform to get things done.
I recently I watched a TikTok lah. So they said about how employers seeing their what we call it, digital footprint, isn't it? So and end up they being fired and everything because of their internet behavior, online behavior.
Do
Correct.
employers protect like their employee
Privacy.
privacy something?
I've seen organizations that actually their formal communication method was through LinkedIn. So they say that each employee that they work in that company, you must have a LinkedIn profile.
Why? I thought they already like secure a job. Why do you still need the LinkedIn?
Well, again, different company will have a different practice,
Yes.
right? So they actually, I've seen that. So I've seen that company uses that. I've seen some CEO that don't like LinkedIn.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Right? This I'm referring to some of those big multinational companies. They don't like LinkedIn, so they feel that LinkedIn is like another avenue
Instagram.
for
fun.
for people looking for job and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So there are different school of thoughts. There will be. This world has a $6 billion $6 billion people in this
Yeah.
world, right? So different thought, different people, different reactions, and so on.
Okay, alright, thank you, Mr. Ben. So, let's go to I think because we are currently in the internship hunting season and everything, right? So, I think it's best for us to
Promote our
promote
career
our
connect.
career connect sebab tu kita function.
Dia bagi lambat lah.
bagi lambat.
Bila tak cue kan. So we're gonna promote our Career Connect website where we already compile all the companies that are searching for internship. Companies that are searching for
Searching for
students to join their internship program, to join their fresh graduates program, and also the iCadet program. So don't forget to go to www.careerconnect.mmu.edu.my to check out all of the companies that are offering jobs, because I'm pretty sure there's still students that didn't get the internship placement. The deadline is very close already. The first phase is already ended. So the second phase of searching for internship is going on right now. So please do check out the Career Connect website to get all of the information that you need. I think Donaldson Sedia Berhad is also searching for internship. The payment is actually really good. So please do check it out. And yeah, so we're gonna wait for the playback.
Okay, roll on.
Donaldson Company was founded in 1915. That first day didn't start at a desk or an office. It began in a dusty field where Frank Donaldson went to see his customer. Determined to fix the farmer's tractor engine, Frank hand-fashioned a filter and started a company. Our legacy of supporting customers with innovative filtration solutions continues over 100 years later. Today, we work with our customers to solve some of the world's most complex filtration and contamination control challenges. And we are now one of the largest providers of unique filtration technologies and high-quality filters and parts in the world. You can't always see our products and technologies, but they are at work in hundreds of ways, helping us every day. They help move supplies and mountains, help products and people get where they need to go, help package what we eat and drink, help guide us home, reach new heights, and connect with the world. Wherever innovation and products are solving filtration challenges, Donaldson is there. And so are our dedicated employees, who help customers from over 140 sales, distribution centers, and manufacturing facilities around the world. With our global capabilities, diverse talent, and customer-first commitment, Donaldson offers the extensive resources of an international organization with the dependable personal service of a local company. These global resources include a network of scientists and engineers who utilize our state-of-the-art design verification centers, prototyping capabilities, laboratories, and advanced manufacturing technologies. And just like our very first day, their work creates the innovative filtration products and solutions that our customers need today. Putting customers first is a company-wide commitment. We are also proud of another Donaldson tradition: the generations of employees who give their talents, support, and time to help strengthen the people and places where we live and work. A lot has changed over the last century, but the keys to our success have remained the same. We continue to help customers solve their filtration challenges, improve and invent innovative filtration media and technologies, offer our employees opportunities to do their best work, and do the right thing in business and community.
Alright, we are back, guys. MMU peeps, welcome back to Career Matter Podcast, where all your careers matter. So the playback you watched just now is about Donaldson company. So Mr. Bain, we would like to elaborate more about Donaldson in particular.
Right. So Donaldson, like I mentioned earlier, is actually a filtration technology company. Again, not IT technology, filtration technology itself. The company is actually founded by Frank Donaldson. The picture that you see is actually he's the founder.
I see.
So how he came up with a product was actually a problem faced by the tractor industry, and he actually innovated by producing the fuse filter. And Donaldson is one of the leading manufacturer filters in the world. Right, so we're one of the biggest manufacturer in the world. And then in recent years, Donaldson Malaysia has been here for about 30 years, right? And recently we are actually growing because we recently set up our shared services in Malaysia. We started with 4 people. As of now, we have 126 between that 3 years, ranging from finance, accounting, IT, planning, customer service, marketing, and so on and so forth. Right, so our industry's product, like I mentioned before, it's a B2B market. You probably haven't heard about Donaldson because we are not a consumer base. But a lot of our products are used in a lot of industry, in manufacturing. Right, if you pass through LRT, you see an excavator, a Caterpillar excavator. Inside engine has a filter, so we actually provide those filters for them. Right, and then right now, recently we are growing into life sciences.
Life sciences.
So we provide enzyme filtration technology that actually grows meat, right? Grows meat into a lab. So we grow enzyme. We also, example, if you have a healthcare, like a hearing aid, right? Hearing aid actually inside has a small filter that you cannot see with the eye.
What does it filter?
So, so when you wear that filter, right, the hearing aid, you will have dust and sweat going into it. So the filter is actually to filter those kind of things. Imagine like a person who wants to go into healthcare, example, and do an IVF program, right? So it has to be a clean room. That's the whole clean room product that we actually supply from end to end. right? Simple things like if you go on an airplane, an airplane has a filter.
Yeah.
Because
A lot.
when you go to 30,000 feet, you cannot buka the tingkap. I need
I terbang nanti keluar.
So you cannot breathe carbon monoxide. So the filter is actually to filter the carbon monoxide and then filter the oxygen to release back to the airplane. So that whole entire system filter is actually provided by us.
See guys, I think you see anything, any product je ada je ni Donaldson, ada je lah their filters. So I believe kita cerita tentang intern tadi. Dah the opportunity. So actually if you guys want to know, Donaldson ni dia punya their branches is all over the world. They're scattered, and I believe as Mr. Ben just shared just now, they have their internship placement. So we'd like to share about the opportunity with our MMU peeps out there, Mr. Ben.
Yeah, so again, like what we were saying, that we are looking for internship. We are also looking for fresh graduate as well. Little that you know, right now our resources, 60% of our resources are all fresh grad.
Okay.
Fresh grad, right? We have a person that actually joined us as a fresh grad. Now she's now a supervisor between our organization, between the 3 years, right? So we spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, grooming and training the person to become a people manager, right? So imagine 60% of our resources right now, they are all fresh graduate. So we spend a lot of time training these people up, right? So once, hopefully one day, if they decided to leave Donaldson, we are also happy because we contribute back to them to train them where they want to be.
I think to all the MMU students that are eager for career development company, that working culture that supports you, I mean Donaldson filtration company is the right company for you, especially for interns and also fresh graduates.
Yeah. So we already have talked. Thank you very much, Mr. Ben, for the insight. Okay, so
back to our questions,
back to our
where
question.
you talked about there's like a lot of different industry that you are providing to all the fresh grads. For example, you have marketing, you have ITs, you have engineerings. If you see all these industries, every group of students are different kind of personality. So do you have like specific traits that you find in this different industry? Maybe Mr. B can go first.
Right. I would say, like, just to piggyback on the topic that we covered earlier on, is about communication, right? So for us, communication is not purely about the language, right? It's about sending the message, what you intend, across the other person so that they understand what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Right? Being a multinational company and multinational country, sometimes we will have conversation by rojak. Sometimes you mix a
Not
bit of
always
English and
English.
Malay and so on. So we also encourage that, is because we want to make sure that during the communication session, you want to send your message across to the other party that wants to understand, right? So some people, they are very good at writing, but their spoken is a bit weak. It's okay. Focus on the areas of writing it, right? Some people, they are very fluent expressing themselves. So yeah, focus on the strength, right? And then during that time, you spend time in terms of how to improve those areas that you're not good at.
So that thing sometimes scares students because sometimes they feel like, oh, I don't have these skills. So
I am not good at
I'm not good at
communicating.
this. I'm not good at that. It makes them feel like, oh, I'm not confident to make interviews. And sometimes some of my friends, they got rejected a lot of time, and then at one point they give up, and they don't want to do the interviews anymore, and they just choose to be on the shorter path where get the right person and then just get me into the internship. So what advice would you give to this kind of students?
Well, if you have rejection, call us Donaldson.
Now.
Call the Donaldson.
Yep. So, perseverance, be prepared, be patient, right? The interview process, the onboarding process, normally it takes a really long time. Because for us, we measure that the company selects you but you also have a role to select the company as well.
Yeah,
So both of them
that's
has to
true.
be aligned. So my advice is don't give up. Every time, like what Kak Fatim was saying, that each time you go for an interview, you gain some knowledge part of the interview, right? And you use that knowledge for your next interview, right? Like Edison used to say, yeah, 1,000 failure, all he needs to do is just one success, he gets the light bulb,
Yeah,
right?
that's very true.
So don't give up, be patient, be well prepared, right? Communication, focus on your communication, focus on your strength. I think that will get you some. Eventually, you will get something. You just have to be patient, slowly to get it.
Alright, thank you, Mr. B. So, we already talked about many things. We have talked about the first one, confidence, communication, about apa yang lepas sebut? So many things already. Skills. So, what do you think what are the things that these talents and students can do to polish their marketability during their time in the university? So can we start with Madam Fatin?
Boleh. Alright. Okay. So basically, I think a lot of exposure. I mean, like exposure is also important. So if let's say you have any events, any companies coming to your university, be there to meet them, network with them, because I would advise all talents, like future students who would want to graduate, start early to network and also talk to company early, because you wouldn't know that that
you
would
end
somehow practice. You can practice by that, and then you wouldn't know that the person that you meet in your first year would be your supervisor or boss once you graduated, because it takes some time for you to really be good at building your own, to market yourself. So start early, do a lot of networking. If there's any career event or anything, just be there. And then even if you are not looking for any placement or job, just be there. Take the opportunity to meet employers early. And then after you habis the event, try to connect with them on LinkedIn and then retain that relationship, because you wouldn't know when do you guys need them.
I always get advice on retaining the relationship. So
Yeah.
what would you advise how to retain the relationship?
Okay, so macam tadi kan I give you, for example, you pergi networking session. So you go for a networking session. So for example, you meet Mr. B from Donaldson. So right after that, just try to connect with Mr. B on LinkedIn, and then tell him that you met him during the session, and you hope that maybe during the session you guys had a conversation that would trigger Mr. B to remember that you are the student, the talent that spoke to him earlier. Try to leave some mark when you meet the person during your networking event. Try to expose yourself with people. Do not macam just go to the library or just be within your own clan. Try to be more open and then get some exposure outside as well. It's very important for you to build connection early. Yeah.
I think I think I've been to a lot of networking session, networking with people. So it's pretty I don't really know how to sustain the relationship, and don't know what to talk actually. If I want to text that person, like for example, I want to text you in I don't know, what should I say? Maybe I say, oh, it's very nice to talk to you.
Yeah.
I agree. But like creating the connection is, for me lah, it's quite easy, but sustaining and retaining.
Okay, for example, just say, because I think most of the directors or CEOs or even hiring managers, they are very active on LinkedIn. So they will post a lot of articles, any tips or anything. So try to be visible by maybe repost their articles or repost their posts, or try to comment. So maybe you don't overdo it. Jangan macam asyik spam. It might take some time. So let's say this month, okay, so you dah repost sekali, and then maybe in 3 months, just for the sake of sustaining, and then just to be visible and be
remembered.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
So I think that's the most important thing to you guys. You guys have to make sure that all the employers remember you, so that it's easier for you to get the jobs. So this week is pretty much very very widened topic where you want to know how to market yourself. So there's so many advices that we already talked about in this episode. I am pretty sure that you guys can benefit from it, and start to network, guys. Start to market yourself out there from now on, so that in 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you would benefit from it. You don't know when, but eventually it will.
It
Like
will
what
happen.
Mr. B and Miss Fatin had said just now.
Okay, D. We have a question now from our Facebook live platform, which is from Nur Tasnim. So Nur Tasnim asks us, okay, how can introvert start a career? So I think maybe we can start with Mr. B. What do you think about this?
To begin with, I am myself. I'm also very great example
For you, Nur Tasnim.
Is there any specific job for introverts?
I won't say specific job, but it's the fear of you need to conquer, right? That you need to get over it. I have never seen any role, any position, any company that you can work alone. Even though in IT, we always have this perception that I will need to work alone. In any organization, you need to talk to someone.
Yeah,
Right?
I
Agree.
agree.
Right. So be familiar with the method that you are familiar with, right? If you're a person who likes to go have a chat during your mama session, use those channels,
Yep.
right? If you're a person who likes very informal conversation, use those formals, right? Circle out by looking out for people that you're comfortable with, right? Start practicing, socializing, and then slowly you build your confidence in talking about that, right?
I think what they can do is to strengthen where you are basically good at, and then from there you will get the opportunities to basically branch out from it, right?
Yep. Yep. Always remember there's no right or wrong answer, right?
Okay.
So sometimes when you ask more questions, people will say, hey, you are very intrinsic. Maybe you're asking the right question. You're asking the intelligent question. People will be more enticed with what is your thought and what are you trying to achieve. So it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. B. So we have another question. Perfect. So we can ask the question to Madam Fatin. So we have a question from YouTube comment. Does different universities graduates need to have different strategy for marketability for job hunting? The question is by Island Meet.
All right. Okay. So honestly, there's no such thing as different university should have a
Different
different strategy, because whatever it is, like I said, it comes from you yourself. How do you want to strategize? How do you want to bring yourself out there? There's a lot of ways of how you can increase your marketability. Like for example, maybe do some internship. Internship placement, even though that is not your uni requirement, just for the sake of getting experience, because when you have that certain experience, that is some of the way that you can tell the companies that you actually have a certain value that you've earned from your previous or short internship period. So so for example like for most of the talent back then in the UK, when we have a summer break, they will come back to Malaysia just for the summer internship program. Even though that is not a requirement, it's just
For fun.
For
it's not
fun.
for fun. Of course, it is for fun. But of course, that would definitely brings value to them for themselves lah. I mean, like that is part of the way how they want to increase their marketability. So, for example, students from the UK, dia habis dia belajar, dia punya internship dah 3 dah. Because every summer break, they will come back for summer internship. Even though that is not the compulsory requirement from the university, but then because of their self-effort, they want to do it. So maybe that is the way how the talent wants to market themselves lah. I mean, like to improve their marketability and gives more value. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think we have another question. Okay. Does corporate grooming really improve marketability?
corporate grooming.
Grooming.
Okay. I would say that would somehow improve the marketability because from employer point of view, of course, they want to see how well you bring yourself, because grooming does not just encompass how you dress up. The way how you articulate things, that is part of grooming as well. The way how you bring yourself out there, how do you want to adapt yourself when you are working. So it does affect marketability, and I would say try your very best to bring the best out of you whenever you go for an interview, because that is the only time for you to shine, or I would say impress
The employers.
Yeah, the hiring manager. But then again, this is very subjective.
There's
because
no right or
you
wrong.
say there's no right or wrong, because let's say you are IT background, you are not really
Extrovert.
you are not so extrovert, you are very introvert. Just be yourself. Whatever it is, just be yourself. And honesty is the best
Policy.
to be honest. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would agree. If you don't know something, just say that I'm not sure or come back. But just to add on something, it's the first impression is very important. If you have an interview, sometimes we will advise it, don't go interview with the short pants and slippers. Right. So those are the things that common sense will tell you to don't do it, right? We also see a lot of companies will do interview online, right? Sometimes it will be good that you do test out the system first, log in, so you don't struggle when you were on that interview time.
Yeah, that's very
Right?
true.
We also seen people that when they do interview, they were in the public transport or they are in a Starbucks. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yes.
Right? So again, prepare yourself up front first.
Yes.
Test out the connection, see whether things are in order before the actual day of interview.
All right, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you so much to Mr. B and also Miss Fatin for the, advices to all the students. I'm pretty sure you guys, get a lot of advices, and basically prepare yourself. Prepare yourself, be confident, and just know that you can do this. Don't be afraid. Just put yourself out there.
Confident,
So,
guys.
talking about putting yourself out there, to all of the SPM leavers, right now, MMU is doing the open day. So here it is. It's 15 and 16 July in Cyberjaya campus. It's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So the SPM leavers, you guys can put yourself out there. And the most important and exciting news is Papa Zola and PP will be there to see you guys.
So don't just bring yourself, bring all of your family, your adik-beradik
Bring
semua.
your adik-beradik
And meet Papa and Papa, Pipi.
Siapa yang tengok video yang dia promote MMU tu, you guys have
Where
to check it
Papa
out.
become counselor.
Dia jadi first day, first day job, dia datang and explore MMU. So check out that video and meet Papa and PP during the MMU during the 15th and 16 July.
Okay, alright guys.
Okay, so we have already reached to the end of our program today. Thank you so much to Mr. B and also Miss Fatin for all of the advices and all the insights that you have given to us. I'm pretty sure all the students are excited, and especially the internship students. Please do send your resume to Donaldson Sedia Berhad. They're opening for interns. They have so many departments, so please do check it out. And
many interns start 17, right?
yes, most
so
of
you
us
have
are starting on
another
17 July. I'm starting on 17 July. But there's also the phase 2 on August. So you still can apply for internship, and also do check out Graduate website to get all the information about career fairs and internship opportunities. Also is given there. So don't forget to check it out, everything, and we will basically put it in MU Career Connect Instagram to check out all of the information that you guys need. So
another episode end. Okay, so I think that's all. Thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
B,
Thank you.
Madam
Miss Fatin.
Thank
Fatin,
you. Thank
and
you.
I think we will see all of you.
On the next episode, next month,
Ada interesting topic.
yes, interesting topic and interesting people are gonna be here.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, guys.
So,
Curious Matters podcast,
where
where all
all your
your curious
careers matter.
matters.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.